abusia minchi na mo akwa abasonko so efa emra eye be media GH so abusia enoma bi esiye ewo ye abekuma no for re-election enoma bi esiye to the extent say na enye bete wo ho ye ma me hawa kumsin ye na enimnia eto no ewo ho eno enimnia esiye wo ho abusia this time round no the NDCs almost say they are not going to sit aloof to watch the NPP. So as the NPP for also say almost almost better than Hakwa. I share ye NDC. To me na be shiemu ewe ye Akwatia by election. Na busia say dia na call dia na eba. Ni na no say emre no ya beso emre no ben inteyade a EC e de cheye egu akwan mu se na be ye beboa ama ye abeku sorry Akwatia by elections no akwa ye free and fair abasabasa ye bia enkonkosi. Na busia ene dia nsem na babetodwa ya dia nkomotwetwe ababetodwa no se ne ekoso ewo ye Akwatia no enye fadi agro MPP for say nya don beti ase ama ye NDC sana it is alleged NDC for also say omo enti ase ma ye the MPP na busuafo nsem a ebobo back to the extent say nanu ada ya video bi ye na ya dia Mustafa Bandi e de say babetodwa kira enioma MPPs for abusua say omo betwe e de akogu eye Akwatia no enye easy emu se kan emu etuo abusua nsamo no ano eden na this time round na ba betodwa this time no ano eden papa me pesa nkasa wona pesa ko ne ko tensem no makasa enchire mu na se bi na se won adwencha bole ne ache adwe hada so e be media GH se enen de ko ne to channel so a ni bi no bo kwan so ye be subscribe my mobile notification bell so for more podcast update yam ko ne ko tie mi abusua e koso e wo ye Akwatia na se bi na se won adwencha bia but modena ya chere ya adwen ye das.
Of course, the EC this week made an announcement of the processes that will go into the elections. The NDC will elect a candidate on August 4th. That's Monday. The NPP has already selected a candidate. They will go head to head. Interesting, won't change anything about the dynamics in Parliament. NDC already has 2/3. NPP has less than 1/3. Alaji, good morning.
Good morning, and how are you, Sana?
I'm doing well.
Good.
I want to listen to you.
You are invited me to. Yes. Let me say good morning to my brother, friend, and comrade Kosiprat, brother Philip London, Phdtv, my good brother and friend who has been had down by the MPP, Dr. Aduma Kukisi, and your good self. Indeed, today is one of the days that we will remember for a long time as family on Pan-African TV. One of our guys who appears regularly and who on Saturdays like this, when we are discussing matters, you can be sure that he's watching us. And then when something excites him, he will send in a text message. He's gone. Today, he will be making... we will be laying him to rest. So let me take opportunity of this platform and on behalf of the family of Pan-African TV, and particularly Alaji, to say that we pray that his soul rests in perfect peace. Sam P.R. was a perfect gentleman, was a true diplomat, was a comrade, had fellow feeling, was very unassuming, let me put it that way. But clearly, he was somebody who understood and appreciated that the common humanity of man must always be upheld over personal idiosyncratic beliefs. He's gone, just like we will all go. We are here bidding our time. And in God's own time, we will join him wherever he is. So rest in peace. And just like yesterday, Adeko Katu left. It was intent. These matters the matters that should agitate our attention, attract our attention, and to know that we are all mortals and we will go, whether we like it or not. Because life is like a stage. You come to play your part, and when the curtains come down, you disappear. Shakespeare. Now, so just like Mr. Philip London said in his concluding remarks, to be honest with you, the by-election in Ablekuma ought not to have attracted our attention at all. It's a by-election. It's a by-election that has come about as a result of one of the conditions under which a by-election can occur.
Yeah.
The death of the elected MP.
Yeah.
So yes, the consensus we have all agreed to as a country is that when an MP resigns under his name, a vacancy is declared. When an MP is expelled from parliament because he's breached the standing orders of parliament by absenting himself from parliament for a number of days without the approval of the speaker and without a reasonable explanation to the committee on privileges, we have a by-election. When an MP is deceased, we have a by-election. So this is one of the conditions under which we can have a by-election. So in my case, I went to parliament in 2006 in a by-election because the MP had resigned from parliament under his name. So that was one of the conditions. The by-elections are very important. If not, we would have said that we will go for that process in the United States of America, where the party now has the opportunity to select somebody to represent them in place of the MP. But for ours, it's a test. It's one of the feelers. How is the government doing? Don't know my 6 months into government, 7 months into government. How is the government performing? How is the likability of government? How is the acceptability of the policies? Is government on its right path? So never mind that the seat presently under contention was held by the MPP. It has never been held by the NDC. You remember Baba Jamal? Okay? But never mind that the MPP has won it more than the NDC. That contest is a contest to determine again whether or not the way the NDC government is proceeding under John Dramani Mahama, the people of Akwatia appreciates that and will send their representative to parliament to sit on the side of the NDC. So that's why NDC, even though presently has recorded 2/3 majority, is very interested in the seat. It's going to be a vindication here, NDC, and NDC intends to win the seat. Honorable Adumakukwesi, NDC intends to win the seat. Because for us, it's going to be a vindication of the effectiveness of the policies of government. And even if a by-election occurs in Bantuma today, we will go there and contest the seat.
Bantama?
Yes, we'll go there and contest the seat.
All right.
But that is the party. Our party doesn't field a candidate for any constituency with the hope that that candidate will not win. Because of the nature of our policies, driving from the social democratic leanings, we believe that we are people-centered. And so when the people, we were able to mobilize the people to come together in such a way as to take their own destiny into their own hands and chart their own trajectory of development, then you will be helping to catalyze the development of the country, because development itself must happen in set conditions, and the aggregation, like a snowball of those developments, will manifest the development of the country. So that's why we take it serious. And as I speak to you, NDC is already on the ground campaigning in Akwatia. Matters have not helped the NPP by the fact that the legitimacy of that candidate, who unfortunately died, was in question. In fact, you recall that his swearing in itself in Parliament was a spectacle. It had to take the guarantees of the minority leader to allow him to be sworn in. And for the 6 or so months that he stayed in Parliament, he spent much of his time walking the corridors of the courts. He tried to vindicate his position that he had been elected, validly elected into office. It's unfortunate that he never lived to vindicate that position. Sometimes I have a feeling that the tremors of that development, the fact that he could not rest, he was constantly under attack, was probably what exacerbated his death. Because not all people have the same composition, the same makeup, who can withstand such challenges. So let me again pause here, extend my condolences to his family, his wife and children who he left behind. Yes. So he's gone. And we must have a by-election. Because the Constitution says that people must be represented. I've always said that if you read the Constitution and understand it well, one of the cardinal principles of parliamentary practice is that no people within this country can live without representation.
Not even so.
Not even so. That is why it has been considered a cardinal sin to have allowed the people of Saint-Trophy, Akpafo, Lolobi, and Lipe to stay out of parliament and representation for 4 years without an excuse. It's a cardinal sin. That is why I just read to you Article 93 of the Constitution, which said that if we miss parliament for a number of days without reason, meaning you cannot toy with representation. If you are elected to parliament, you cannot. That is probably the only condition under in parliament where your lack of attendance of parliament can lead to your expulsion from parliament. So representation is very important. Because you see, a government by the people, for the people, and of the people, simply means that everybody must have a voice in determining what happens in this country. So we have, yes, it is cost. But who says that democracy is not expensive? It's expensive. So we have to conduct elections and ensure Why we are worried about Akwatia is what we have experienced in the past. The by-elections itself have always come with a level of violence. Oh, a majority of the by-elections that we've had. And so, even with that Ablekuma, which strictly speaking was not a by-election, was just an attempt to complete the process, came with violence. And now we are going to Akwatia. So people are already talking about revenge attacks. Not so. So that's why we're worried. Probably that's one reason why we are discussing this. If not, it would have been one of the normal things that we all watch to see what happens. And so I take opportunity to draw the attention of all of us as Ghanaians that what unites us is greater, more compelling, more demanding than what divides us. That again, by our construction of the governance architecture of this country, we have elected to practice multi-party democracy. Simply means the liberty that is in our coat of arms, freedom and justice, freedom. That everybody should be free to choose where he wants to belong. That's a libertarian principle. Freedom, choose. And nobody should be held responsible for choosing. Exercising is free will. If that free will is in accordance with law. People can decide that they want to exercise their free will in robbing others. I'm not talking about that. That one is contrary to public policy. So yes, when we get to Akwatia, we must ensure, and the IGP must ensure, that his men are on the ground to protect lives and property. Akwatia must serve as a litmus test to the ability and capacity of IGP Yehonu to change course from what we have known our by-elections to be defined by. And it is the IGP